Hello everybody, and we are here today because we're going to be looking at a few things. Let's see, I believe that it was called, oh my gosh, I think it's Crime Crazy and Critters on the Farm. Um, I've not heard of the channel, I'll have to check them out. We'll make sure that a link for their channel is in the description. They are bringing out some new information um, from Grandis, evidently. But before we get to that, we're going to look at a moment when Grandis actually had spoken out on WJHL, and so we are going to play that in a moment. But before that, as always, right up there at the top, you have your beautiful hostess Lori, and
Hello.
you got myself Bob down here on the right below, and let's
On the right below.
yeah, I'm in the upside down. I'm in the upside down. The Stranger Things thing.
All right, do you want me to play it?
So yep, let's get into this.
Mr. Lawson stated that Candace and the whole family is lawyered up. I can't speak for Donnie, and I know Candace hasn't because she's told me she hasn't, and I have not. If law enforcement wants to talk to me, TBI wants to talk to me, they have my phone number. They know when I leave the state. They know when I'm here.
Summerwell's grandmother, Candus Harer, says she hasn't spoken with law enforcement since December 13th.
They have not contacted me since the YouTubers were down here in the driveway, and we asked them about trespassing.
Summer's grandma was with her granddaughter all day on June 15th, the day she disappeared. She walked me through what they did that day and said she and Summer were repotting cactus plants outside of her camper, and then
Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
as the 9-month mark of when her granddaughter was reported missing approaches, she says the social media and online rumors have to stop.
If they want to help, that's great. But if they want to spread lies, that's a different story.
That's all that part that we have to hear, pretty much.
Yeah, and
Um,
we've definitely seen a lot of lies. A lot
we
of
also
rumors.
we've also heard that same story, script, whatever it is, from Candace and Hunter. Well, different variations of it, but sort of along the same lines. But you did hear her say, so did the news reporter, that she was with Summer all day that day.
Hmm.
But then, we come
This
on
new
over.
this new thread arises.
And I was listening to it. Actually, first, shout out to Evil Exists because that's where I heard it first. And then, of course, that's what drew me to this channel and whatever. So do subscribe to Evil Exist as well as Crime Crazy and Critters on the Farm. Of course, we'll do this as we do it. I don't know. We'll put this up first for a second.
Oh yeah,
Just so we all know and understand. And
yep. We do not take any credit for anything in that video. It is not ours, but we are discussing it and giving a reaction to the situation.
exactly. All right, so this is not Candus Harer, or Grandma Candy, as she likes to be called. Um, this is somebody who talks to her every day, and somebody who apparently has gotten permission to speak on her behalf on this stream. Um, Grandma Candy was also in the chat, supposedly, but wasn't talking, to my knowledge.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, so I'm only reporting what I heard with my own eyes. I mean, my own. Oh my god, it's way too early for that. It's my own eyes. All right, so I'm gonna play it. I think I got it at the right spot. Let's see.
Thank you so much for that signature. I'm trying to stay calm. you all and not get as hyper as what I was. But I don't know. Of course, there's going to be people coming in here saying smart thing, smart thing. Jessica's been talking to Grandma for a few months. Her and Grandma's been chatting between each other. Grandma has been in my chat listening. She does want to come up and tell her part of the story, but she has been extracted by the TBI not to come on YouTube. But if she does come up on YouTube, she can only say certain things, and I respect that, you all.
Okay, so a little info. So apparently, Grandis or Grandma Candy or Candus Hair, Candy Hair, whatever you want to call her, um, feels that she needs to talk about the situation now. That it's just, I guess, not in so many words, but it's kind of eating her up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very interesting what this lady has to say on her behalf.
I totally and thoroughly respect that, because no, my title's not misleading. Just waiting for Jessica to come up. Miss Daisy, do you want me? There she is, y'all. To time out or block. Time out, Christy. Unless they're being really rude. Hello, Jessica.
Hi,
How you doing, honey?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm nervous,
Yeah,
as you know. Is Grandma Candy in the chat, or do you know if she's going to try to come up?
I haven't heard from her. I messaged her, but I haven't heard from her yet. So I don't know if she's in the chat or not.
Did she know I was coming on tonight?
Yeah, she knows that. I was talking to her yesterday. I seen well, my husband said there was a comment that I don't have the rights to speak upon her.
It was a troll. That's a troll. We got the Goose Squad on the trolls today.
Yeah.
So
So they can say what they want, right?
right. But you have been talking to Grandma Candy, right?
Oh yeah, every day I talk to her. I even know, like, just see how her day's going and just to let her know somebody cares. Because when I talk to her, she really grabbed my heart. So
Okay, so she's been talking to Grandis now for months.
Mm-hmm.
Grabbed her heart. So you think it would be credible information, right?
You would think so. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute because there's a lot of noise going on.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'll come back here
Yeah.
momentarily.
Yeah. And she was in my chat, right, the other night?
yes, she was.
Okay. Because a lot of people saying that she was in another chat. There was somebody
No,
under her name.
there's like she told me about. Sorry, I'm still have this wicked cold. Maybe 15 people that go under her name, and it's not her.
Right. And that definitely, because there was somebody that was in there under Jessica as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
my
people like
goodness.
that. Yeah. So I don't know. It's probably a troll, but you did ask her and she said that it wasn't her, right?
Yeah, it was not her. She was on under your chat. She mainly watches your chat, and she said for the last maybe 3 weeks it's been like that. She doesn't
Wow.
watch any other ones like PG or anything like that.
I don't know. I would think if I was in that kind of situation where my family has been ripped apart and, well, pretty much destroyed by YouTube, I would want to know what people are saying about me. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
maybe
know.
they just don't care. I don't know.
I just don't know because I mean, if you were to sit and watch all the streams that go on about these topics, you wouldn't have any time on your hands at all.
Well, no, but she's saying that she only watches this one now.
Right,
So
right.
Wow. I wonder why she watches my chat for.
I don't. She said it's more like you guys are more calmer. There's no bashing.
Right.
It's just everybody's assumed like what they think, right? It's not bashing somebody or
That's
whatever.
good. That's good. I've instructed everybody in here tonight, and everybody's been so respectful to call her Grandma Candy because she does know that I'm going live. Jessica, can you tell us a little bit about why Grandma Candy wants to come out and talk?
She said that she's tired of holding it in. Um, to be honest with you, I think she's just tired and she's ready.
now that would kind of indicate that she's going to be dropping a bomb of some sort, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Like she's ready to get it off her chest. And she has to get it out there. She's tired of it, kind of doing whatever. So, okay, all right. I guess she's going to start getting into it.
You're
Right.
right.
She can't take it anymore. The grief, she said, is unbelievable. And
Right.
she said that's her baby girl.
Right. And 2 days before Summer went missing, did she and Candace and Don had a dispute, right?
Yes.
And baby Summer came
To
running.
Grant's trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
That was her safe spot.
That was her safe spot, and that's where she got the bruises. Candace, right from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Summer got bruises from Candus from that.
Interesting.
An altercation between Candus and Dawn somehow
So
led to Summer getting bruises.
that's interesting. I mean, I wonder if she could have gotten in the middle of them or something. You know, it's hard to say.
It's funny that the trailer was the safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, for a majority of the time since she's been missing, Grandma Candy hasn't said shit,
Right.
really, about anything.
Right.
Yeah. So can you tell us? Huh? Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's where the peppermint comes in, is where when Summer would go over to her trailer and see Grandma, and Grandma would give her a piece of peppermint because it supposedly, I don't know, this is what Grandma's telling me, it's supposed to calm children.
Uh-huh.
So that's what she said she did, and that's where the peppermint comes in place. And that's why Candace talks about the peppermint, because that's
Right.
what Candace used to give Summer to calm her down when Dawn and Candace would fight.
Wow. That poor little
Okay,
girl.
so the fighting between Dawn and Candace must have been, I mean, I'm assuming from that comment, if it's
Regularly.
true, it was a regular occurrence.
Sounds like it.
And that poor little Summer really hated it when they fought.
Yeah. Poor little girl and the kids, for that matter, if that's the case.
So, I mean, this could potentially give us some information about, and insight, further insight, further than Benny, further than Shannon, further than whatever, as to what happens in that house. Like,
Right.
what really did happen. Like, if Grandma's going to start talking, what's she going to start talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and she can't say everything because TBI instructed Grandis not to talk that much, right?
Right. But I wonder if they also instructed the rest of them to do it too. I mean, the hard part is, for me, is you've seen a lot of stuff that has gone on in this case that like the jokes, finding out a mole by playing a joke about Dawn being taken by the mafia or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff, and it's like, who's a player and who is legit in this situation, you know?
Well, that's just it. Like, I'm not claiming that these
Oh yeah,
people
I
are
know.
legit or whatever, or that this is a true story being told. I'm
Right.
just trying to bring information.
Oh yeah, exactly.
If it is true, well, this kind of tells a lot of stuff about
It
what,
does.
like, the stuff that's going to come up here, and it completely changes the timeline. And honestly, we should have had this information from the jump, and then perhaps Summer might have been found sooner.
Right.
Right.
Said they fought, like, mainly Candace would hit Dawn more than, and Dawn would push back after a while.
Right.
And we have heard that perspective before as well, that Candace was more aggressive than Dawn, but then it somehow switched in November-ish that Dawn was the aggressor. But I think everybody's drawn their own conclusion that Candace is very violent tempers as well.
Yeah.
Anybody in that situation understands, like, you're only going to take so much, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Beth, for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, that day, the day that Summer went missing, is Grandma had been talking to Ziggy V, right?
Yes.
Her and Ziggy V had been talking as they were friends.
Yeah.
And Grandma told you that baby Summer
Zach was not well. She wanted to drink, so she asked Grandma. I call her Grandma now. To have a drink of the orange pop, and she said no, it was old, like 3 weeks old, just been sitting there. So she gave her water, and Summer wouldn't drink the water.
Oh
and
wow.
All right. That orange pop, that same orange pop, that. Here, let me bring up a picture of it. Maybe I don't know. Hold on here. Here, hold. Just let me find it.
So it had been sitting there for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but there was. I have to find it, and then put it on the community post or something. But then there was something saying that orange pop was bought at that hippie house or one of those other places, and it contained THC or whatever on it.
So much stuff in this.
Okay, so yeah, I think this is it. I mean that I have no idea, man.
I hear
I
you.
just know what's being told to me. All right, so here I'm gonna put this someplace. I guess it would be an overlay, and I guess it would be. Oh my good gosh.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Yeah, so this one, where there's the orange pop, and it looked like there was candy and the milk jugs, and a lot of speculation as to whether or not she was actually alive or
Yeah.
dead in this picture. I'm going to leave this picture up, though, as I play the rest of the video, because there's nothing to see on the video anyway. So it'll just kind of... I mean, there's a chat if you really care to see what's in the chat. But, I mean, you can also just go over and watch the full video and see for yourself what's in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really paying attention to the chat. It was more the information that was being given.
And then when they got home, Summer was still sleeping, and Candus went to like wake her up, but her arm was like limp. Like it lifted up and fell back down. Like my kids, like I have 7 kids of my own, and when my kids are sleeping, like I can do that and falls down. Like I get it. But Grandma said she didn't help with the groceries, nor did the boys come out to help with the groceries.
Okay, so Candus stated several times, and so did Grandis, that they got home, the boys came outside, got the groceries, took them into the house, even though there was only a couple things like the milk and cheese or something, but it was a family event that they all had to get the groceries and then take them back in and sort them between Candus Harer and Candy, or
Right.
Candus, I guess. I'm so confused. There's so many Candaces. We heard the story, but now the boys didn't even go to get the groceries. Summer apparently was not feeling well in the car and had wanted to drink that orange pop. But the orange pop was 3 weeks old, supposedly. She couldn't drink that and didn't want water. Okay. But we did hear, hold on. There was a story going around here a couple months ago about the fact that Summer was unwell. But remember, they were saying that they hemmed and hawed about taking her to the emergency.
Yeah.
And they never took her. I don't know. Everybody stopped talking about that storyline. So I think everybody chalked it up to it just wasn't, valid or whatever. But now it's kind of coming back into play. So maybe that was the original story that should have been told, along with the one of seeing Summer walking away from the house at around 7 o'clock that night. Remember that story too that everybody said didn't happen?
Right.
All right.
She went right into bed and lay down for a nap and was sleeping for about 3 hours. And then when she got woken up and Candus screaming, Summer's gone. They took Summer.
All right. So, yeah, she went to bed. So the boys didn't do anything. They didn't plant cactuses or cacti. They did not do any of that. When they got home, because Grandis was on morphine and stuff like that, I guess it hit her like a ton of bricks. She went home and she went to sleep for 3 hours. Which kind of is true, because she did say in the news thing that she had a nap. Remember? Because people were making the comments about, well, you had time to take a nap? Like, what?
Right.
So I mean, maybe there is truth to that part. Maybe there's truth to this.
Right. So, Grandma never did, like Miss Ziggy V said, Grandma never did go to that swimming pond, right?
No, they picked her up at the hospital after.
Did you catch that?
They picked her up at the hospital after the swimming hole.
Right. But the story was Grandis was there because remember, Chris McDonough had said. So where was Grandis at this point? And Candice was like, well, you know, she was coming down the thing, and I was helping her because of her leg, and we were looking at the flowers and all this other stuff. So, okay, so now wait, hold on. According to this, she was not there. So the only people at the stable thing were Candace, Hunter, and Summer.
And they picked her up at the hospital afterward.
But that's not how that was. They had to change their storyline. Now, my question is why change it?
Right.
Why wouldn't you just mention that Grandis wasn't there?
Exactly.
And yet you picked her up after you went there.
That doesn't make sense.
What happened in that time frame that Grandis wasn't at the thing? And was the pond the place where it actually happened, whatever happened to Summer?
Right.
And how did Hunter know about secondary drowning?
Right. Right.
That's not something a 15-year-old would just know. A lot of adults didn't even really put two and two together on that one.
Exactly.
So
See, I thought that too because, you know, my mom was in Holston Valley Hospital, so I know they don't just go in there and stay for a few hours. Also, Summer was okay that morning, right?
Yep, she was her normal self.
Yeah, she was up and jumped up and and stuff.
Just jumped around the backseat of the truck until they got their seatbelt on. And even still, Grandma said like it's hard for Summer to sit still, even with the seatbelt on. So
yeah, so for her to sleep like that was definitely not normal.
Right? It was different, right?
And she also said that Summer was asleep at that store when they went in to buy groceries, right?
That's right. She wasn't watching TikToks.
So she wasn't watching TikToks now?
No, she wasn't. So why did Hunter lie about that?
Good question.
You see where I'm going with this?
Was it? And that Candus
actually they got like she was half asleep when they picked up Grandis.
She was half asleep.
Yeah.
So she did.
Now that makes sense. I can believe that part because of the fact that Hunter got all fumbled up on the fact that, remember, he didn't know where Summer was, if she was awake, if she was asleep, if anything like that when she was dropped off. And Allison didn't know either because it probably didn't happen.
Did she drink any of that water, or did she take a few sips of the water? Do you know?
Nothing. She didn't drink at all.
She didn't. Also, Candus actually propped that baby up on those milk jugs, right?
Yeah.
You catch that?
Candus propped her up on the milk jugs. Wow.
That rubs me wrong.
And
there's a box. If you look behind the milk jugs there on the screen, there's a box behind it holding it up because Grandma said that the milk would just slide over, so Candus put the box there to kind of sturdy, like hold her up more support, I guess.
Sorry about that. My 15-year-old's wanting to play music wide open. So Grandma said that Candus propped her up against the milk jugs. Now, the video, when they took the video, what did Grandma say about that? Didn't she say that Candus was being like rude to Grandma?
Yeah. And then the part where the video on YouTube, I don't actually remember where Grandma said it was, but there's a video floating around of her trying to take a picture, but it turned into a video. But Candus only put it so far. I don't know what it's called. Like made the video so big so that you can't, like, she cut it off where she starts yelling at her.
Wow.
So the video was longer. It was edited to be as long as what we've seen of the quick little exchange there. Remember where Candus wanted to have the picture because it reminded her of Dawn and what
Right.
Summer was doing.
Right.
That's interesting. What else was on that video?
Right. Hmm. It's a good question.
Yeah,
Before she
I
posted
don't
it,
know.
she did.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
Wow.
I'm not that good with phones like that way, so I wouldn't know
Right.
what fault. So
Right. But she got mad at grandma for taking the because grandma's knee was hurting, right? And
yeah,
she
she said
couldn't
she
really
was
take.
like she had a lot of drugs. She had morphine in another shot. She was said that like she was really like she needed to lay down. There was no way she was helping with groceries or planting flowers. There's no way.
Right. Grandma has told all this to the TBI and the FBI, right?
Yeah, yeah, they
As
know.
of Miss Ziggy as well. Miss Ziggy also spoke with the FBI. They took all the paperwork in. They said out of 2,000 people, tips that Ziggy was the most accurate, according to Miss Ziggy.
Yeah.
Um, and so
She
Don,
said that
go ahead.
grandma told me that if you listen back, she said go on to the video where Hunter's talking to Chris. Um, what's his last name?
Chris M. McDonald.
Yeah, and he says Dawn called Candace while they're dropping off Hunter.
Okay, and
I don't remember hearing that.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that too because I remember hearing something about him calling, and then there was a talk about the dude whose name started with A. Um,
Yeah, but I thought that was when they were in the line to Walgreens or wherever they were, or to pick up the prescription,
yeah, there's so much stuff.
which happened in the morning.
Right.
So they say, but
Right.
now they say that didn't happen in the morning. It happened in the afternoon when they were done at the pond.
Hmm.
This is so confusing.
It is.
that's when
And that's when he was yelling at Candace for the way Summer was acting.
and he wanted her to take her to the hospital, right?
Yes, and she said in that video, Hunter says he was like Dawn was yelling at Candace, and Hunter was trying to hear what he was saying. And then when Candace got off the phone with Dawn, Hunter said, "What was he yelling at?" And she said, "Oh, just his normal shit." So, but
Dawn wanted Candace to take Summer to the hospital.
Hmm.
Grandma seems to think it was about the way Summer was acting.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Did grandma? Do you ever ask grandma what color? Did she have a distinct color to her, or was she just? Was
Grandma
she
said
just?
like just really really tired or like had a flu or something. Like she just didn't maybe like heat stroke or something. That's what
Oh,
she passed through her mind. But
Heat stroke could be a
wow.
possibility.
I never really thought about heat stroke as an option, but I guess
Yeah.
that would explain maybe why she didn't want the water.
Oh, sorry, I'm just backing up. Okay, I'm heading out now.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
Make me.
Soon. 34 days, I heard.
Yep. Yep.
All
Yeah.
right,
So this is crazy.
it is, isn't it? So it gets better, I think.
Do you think that maybe they forgot her in the car for a little while or something? Maybe.
no, she said that she heard Candace leave with Summer. The boys didn't even come out at all, and Grandma said boys probably didn't even know they were home because practically what they did was just drop Grandma off.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa, back up. I didn't hear that the first time I heard this.
No. Yeah. Because I thought that they carried the groceries in.
Right. But Candace dropped Grandis off
And left with Summer.
and left with Summer.
Yeah, but I guess I'm confused because if they were taking the groceries in and splitting them up and the boys didn't come out, wouldn't the boys have encountered them when they went in? Or were there not very many groceries? You know what I
But,
mean?
but wait, I thought she said at the beginning of this that when she got home, she went to bed and that Candus carried Summer into the house.
I don't. Oh my gosh. I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that too. I mean, I'm baffled.
Okay, let's keep going.
So Grandma told Miss Ziggy that Candace took Summer to Dawn. Did she tell you that?
Yeah, she told me that, but she doesn't believe it.
Oh, she don't believe that Candace took the baby to Dawn that day?
No, no. She said
Oh.
she did, but now she don't. She doesn't think so. But she said it was weird that that day Don took the car instead of his truck. She said that's one thing that stood out to her that was different.
And now that is weird.
Hmm.
If that's weird for Grandis, that's weird for everybody, right?
You would think.
I mean, that should be a point right there. The car should definitely be a point of interest. Why did he switch vehicles? Because obviously that indicates that he hadn't done it before. And if he did,
Hmm.
not very often.
Right.
And if Candace didn't take Summer to him,
Where'd you take her?
where did she take her? And when did she start yelling for Summer to indicate she was missing? Was that after she took Summer wherever and didn't bring her back?
Hmm.
Yeah, interesting. Candace, what do you know?
Was that Dawn took the car instead of the truck?
Yeah.
That is weird. Okay, also, when they came back from the pond and they picked Grandma Candy up, they was both intoxicated, right?
Oh, you hear that?
They were both intoxicated?
H
Yes. Yeah.
and
Yes.
Candy.
Yeah. And she said Candace drives intoxicated all the time.
Wow. Oh my word.
Okay, hold on, everybody. Calm down. I know everybody who's watching this, well, if you're watching it right now and you're here and whatever, you're probably like, oh my God, my mind is blown. Okay, so now we have the fact that Candace,
Well, the allegation. The allegation.
the allegation that Candace drives drunk all the time
Hmm.
and that she was intoxicated and so was Hunter that day.
Wow. Now, and I mean this as respectfully as I can, but I could see it being true that she would drive intoxicated, being that she's come up on these panels and all these other things, and she's seemed to have been under the influence a lot of those times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she obviously don't care who knows who when she's drunk. That's for
Right,
damn sure.
right.
Right. Does she seem to think that that's the reason why that she wouldn't take her to the hospital? That Candace wouldn't take her to the hospital?
Yeah, because she was intoxicated.
Yeah. And H was also very intoxicated as well, right?
Yeah.
According to Grandma.
Yeah.
But
And
they did.
Grandma said that now Allie, she said she's the most laziest 2-ton. I'm not going to say the rest. Person you'll ever meet in your life, and she said her kids probably don't even see a doctor. So where the doctor situation came in, she has no idea.
But here's my question though. If Hunter was intoxicated, did Allie mention anything about that? About him being intoxicated when he got dropped off?
No,
Interesting.
no, because that's what part of the thing was, where they're saying if Allie knew that Hunter and Candace had a thing, or if Allie knew about him drinking or letting him vape. And that's when Chris McDonough had also said that, yeah, Mom, like, don't let him vape or drink or whatever. And she's like, yeah, Hunter, or yeah, or something. Some comment back.
Yeah.
But she knows damn well that kid drank. That's why they're covering it up, I bet. I wonder if that's why they. Oh my God, I just had a terrible thought as to what happened.
Really?
Oh my God.
What if I mean, I'm just thinking here, but what if they were intoxicated down there, you know, what if he didn't fully remember everything with the water?
what if it's true that Candus and Hunter had a spleen of some sort? And that's what they were doing when Summer was in the water.
I don't know. That's pretty messed up, though.
But we know Grandma wasn't there.
Right? That's pretty messed up. If
And
he's gay.
I did hear something about at some point along the way in the story. I did hear something about the fact that, oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Shit. It's something to do with Grandmas. Um, yeah, it'll come to me. All right, let's keep going.
Where H went to the hospital or doctor's appointment, something like that. She doesn't believe
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Which is just a cover up for them, right?
Right. Well, Grandma told Miss Ziggy the same thing. She said that Two-Ton never came out there. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's what Grandma called Allie, right?
Yeah, Two-Ton.
Two-Ton, and she said she never came out to that car that day to see Summer.
No.
They dropped H off. So did Dawn ever call back at home, or did she just take off and take her to Dawn, supposedly?
She hold on, I'm just looking back on my messages.
You're fine, honey. Take your time. No worries. No hurry.
I love to get frustrated. She says, I believe in my books that Candus messaged Dawn and told Dawn that Summer was kidnapped once I was woken from Candus yelling for Summer.
Wow. Wow.
That's what she said.
So does she believe that Dawn thinks that Summer actually was kidnapped? Or does Dawn...
Yeah, Dawn thinks that.
All right. So Grandis is pretty much admitting that she truly believes Dawn hasn't got a clue what the hell happened to that kid.
And that Candus has something to do with it.
Her own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So this is after she has a child that's missing, a granddaughter that's missing, and basically their world's imploding on them.
And it's almost a year later.
And it's almost a year later.
Next month will be a full year.
Are we actually finally going to know what happened to this little girl?
It's a good question.
It makes you wonder, because if TBI knows all this, maybe it wasn't founded. There was nothing there. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or they're building a case.
Man.
Let's see if there's any other little tidbits here.
But she thinks that maybe Candus took the baby and did something with her.
Yeah. She said,
Wow.
Wow. So that's yeah.
It's
Wow.
pretty straightforward, allegedly.
If that's true,
Mm-hmm.
she just admitted she thinks that Candus did something to Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Candus also has a drug addiction.
She did say Candus has a drug addiction.
Methamphetamine, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So did her
and
other daughter, Rose.
Wow. And what did she have to say about that? Like they're reopening that case, right? About
Yes.
And what is her frustrations now that she
People
wants
are
to
saying I'm stuck. Am I okay? Or
There is some static. But it's okay.
maybe it's my finger.
It's okay. What else did Grandma want to tell us that she wants to get up here? Because Grandma does want to come up and speak, right?
Yeah. She's online now. I don't know. I just sent her a message and asked her if she's watching. She's on,
Tell her
on
I have-
Facebook right now, so she's.
I did send her a message, but she never did reply back. But I'm sure she.
I'm concerned about those candies that are on the seat there, in reach of Summer. And the pop is like right there
Right
beside
next to her. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if that was a special kind of pop, can you see a label on that, or is it just a...
It looks like a Crush label, so I don't know.
Yeah, but, they have Mike and Ike boxes that have
Yeah, exactly.
THC, so, I mean... but who's to say, like, she didn't take a drink of that when nobody was looking? I mean, it was right there.
Okay, It doesn't look like very much has been taken out of it, if that's the case.
True. Yeah, it
Now,
doesn't fall.
it's not full, but you could tell that there was some taken out, but you can still see where the line is, on, even though it's sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe just to the beginning of the label, maybe a little bit below where the label first starts.
Yeah.
I'd say, so maybe a sip or two is taken out of it. Like an adult sip, right?
Yeah,
That could have been from Hunter.
that's true.
Uh, it's hard to say, but if that bottle was already opened, that bottle would be a lot easier to get into by a
Mm-hmm.
child than if it still had the security seal thing on it.
It's true.
I don't know. I just find it really, really, really strange that all these things are in this picture. And did they put her on the milk to cool her down because she was too hot?
That's a good question.
Because why would you put a box there to hold the milk in place to prop her up?
Very true.
There is a box there, and I don't think anybody's really noticed that box there, but it is propping.
Right there at the very left corner of the picture.
Yeah, right here, right. You see her head, and then you see the red lid for the milk jug, and then there's the
Yeah,
box.
and then the box right over there. Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right on that.
It looks like the other milk jug's laying down sideways. But, okay, so anyhow, yeah, let's see.
Probably did get a lot of messages from people.
Yeah.
Of course, she's going to.
She said there's maybe like 3 people that just ask her about her day and stuff, and I'm one of them. And she said, people just automatically accuse her because of her daughter missing already. So she said, like, they automatically attack her, right?
Right, and I can understand that as well. And so she didn't get upset over when I put the audio out about Rose. Did she get upset about that?
Nope, she was fine with that.
Did you have a
say?
Huh?
She didn't say she was upset or anything. She said that how much it looked like her. She couldn't believe it.
Really? She said that?
Yeah. She did say that their service up where she is bad, like for internet, and like her Wi-Fi is really bad, so I guess it's in and out.
Yeah. She is home, right, at her camper.
Yeah, she's home in her camper.
But Candus is
but
not,
I don't
right?
want anybody going there.
No, but they know.
Please don't go there.
Yeah, please. Well, the FBI knows when people goes up there or not, because there was a lady that went up there and got a dog. So she said she got a call a couple days later from them. So
We also know Candus Harer is alone on top of that mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That Candus left already for how long? And never went back. Why?
Good question.
I wouldn't advise anybody to go up there and do.
Is it because Grandma was getting ready to tell?
That's a good question.
Is it because they had a falling out? I mean, if I were Candus, I wouldn't want to be around somebody if they said they were going to turn me into the police.
Right.
Especially coming from my own mother. I don't know. It just seems weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Do that. Absolutely not. Also, what was I going to say? Did you tell her that I would be willing to give that information to her if she wanted it, like to give her the phone call? What did she say?
I told her. She said that she said she was going to message you. She didn't say when. She said she'd give you a message and she would love the information. Love to talk to you first before coming up on panel. I'm not sure what about it. I didn't want to get into that business, right? Because that's not my business. But
right. Well, and I understand that as well. Yeah, because the lady in the tape says she's her cousin, and she names her name, the address, and everything. So maybe Miss Candy, Grandma Candy, could reach out to her and ask her what's up. So she didn't say that was her niece that was in that picture.
Yeah.
She said it was or it wasn't.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't.
So she said that was not her niece.
It was not her niece. No.
The niece Julie, right? She said Julie was not her niece. That woman was not her niece, Julie. Wow.
Okay, well, I never really looked too much into the whole Rose Blythe
Yeah.
case, so I don't know who they're talking about, what they're talking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not very great at typing, so you kind of have to guess. Sorry, Grandma, if you're listening now.
That's what Miss
I'm not
Ziggy said as well.
calling you out on anything. I'm
She's just having a hard time.
just trying to
Well,
explain.
yeah. Grandma Candy, if you are listening, the lady, and please you all don't come out at me over this because she wants to know and she's okay with this. I will give you this information for you to check out yourself because the lady in the message says her name and she says she's related and she says that the lady, I'm not going to say her name, Rose, aka Rose, is ready to come out and tell everyone, and she'll hear that in that recording. I took it down, but I will
Wow.
give that to Grandma Candy if she wants it. I will send that to her through Facebook, um, because the lady says she talks to her every single day and that she actually wants to go. Grandma Candy, she, the lady, and please you all don't come at me over this. The lady that claims to be Rose, to this lady, and I'm not saying she is, says that she is concerned about Summer and that she wants to go to the jailhouse and talk to Don herself. So if it is or if it isn't, I'll be willing.
Why would she want to go talk to Dawn?
I don't know.
That had nothing to do with Dawn.
I don't know. Wow. This
Going
is
to give you
just
that
getting crazier
information
and
if you want
crazier.
it because that is your daughter and you have the right to know um, if that's not your niece and then that lady looks like Rose. So, um, and
It would be amazing.
grandma should know because grandma has her on her Facebook. That's on her Facebook.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, and she says that's not Julie, her
That's
niece.
not. No. She says
Wow.
it's not. Yeah.
Wow.
And she said that another thing she said was that she sits there alone all the time because Candus meets all these other YouTubers and goes out drinking with them and their neighbors. She's always gone, so she's alone all the time.
Wow.
She goes out with all these YouTubers
YouTubers.
and drinks with them. What the hell YouTubers has she been around? Ernie, Benny.
Yeah.
You can't classify Shannon because Shannon isn't a YouTuber.
Nope. Has she been out with Molly in them?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think who else could have possibly have gone out with her. All these YouTubers.
Yeah.
The fuck are all these YouTubers?
I couldn't see Kim and Ellie doing it, but I don't know. I don't know them too much.
I guess that is there is them, I guess, and then there was Chris McDonough.
Mm-hmm.
And
but maybe there were some more locals.
It's possible. I mean,
for all we know, she and Gigi could be having drinks together, and Gigi's filling her head with crap. Who knows?
Oh my goodness!
You just never know. Like,
oh my God! Don't say that.
Feeding the dogs, and so I can imagine like what goes through her mind.
Right. So she is the one feeding the dogs.
Yeah, and I asked her about the boys, and she said that she's not allowed to have any contact or anything with them at all. And that's so unfortunate.
Has Candus got to see the boys? Do you know?
No.
None of them.
They're not allowed.
Oh, both of them are not allowed. Wow.
No.
Wait. I would think that they're talking physically see them.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
But I did hear somewhere that Grandma can't talk to the boys when they call. Because she's the primary custodial parent or something of them. The Candus isn't even? I don't even know how that works. Something like that. I can't remember where it was. I'll have to find it.
Wow. So, Miss Grandma, if you want to come up.
Guys, I can hear the static.
It's not bad. It's not that bad at all.
No.
So that day, does she think that maybe someone helped Candus take the baby and place her somewhere?
Pardon?
Did Grandma have any concerns about what happened to Summer? Does she have any concerns about where Candus could have placed the baby?
She didn't say. I said, where would you think? Like she would. What do you think she would do? And she said she has no idea. She said she wished she knew.
She wished she knew.
Yeah.
And she said baby Summer was so out of it that when she lifted up her arm, it would just like flop back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody that has kids knows, like when your kid's really out, like sleeping, that can happen, right? Like,
right.
I've done it with my own kids, like playing around and stuff. But she said she feels like she's reliving Rose's disappearance, and it's sad.
Right. That's awful. So was it the medication that made her lay down and go to sleep? She probably just couldn't stay awake. Yeah. Especially with morphine.
Yeah. She said the boys were kicking her and stuff.
Oh, the boys was kicking her that day?
Yeah, got in a knee. I think it was a day or two before.
Oh, a day or two before. That's why she had to go to the
Yeah.
hospital? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was so sore.
Now that does make sense as to why Candus got up so early, was to take her to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Man.
would make sense to pick her up how many hours later? I was like
Right.
thinking at first that was a fast trip to ER.
Yeah,
And
because
how did Candace get there? I mean,
usually
how did
those
Grandis get there?
usually those ER visits can be lengthy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told her
Yeah.
my mom had knee surgery, so I understood like pain and
Right. Beautiful Sunflower wants to know if Summer has passed. She don't know. She just knows that Summer was not good in that car that day, right? She didn't wake up and she didn't come out of the car.
yeah, that's
Right.
all she knows. She doesn't know. And then she woke up to Candace saying she was abducted or
Yeah.
took in or something.
Did she say that Candace didn't say it was in the basement? Did she change her story from the basement or anything?
No, she said she didn't say much about that at all.
She didn't. But she
No.
don't believe the abduction thing, does she?
No, she doesn't believe that at all.
No. And she wants to come
She said the
forward.
state Summer was in, like what I'm getting. Yeah. So Grandma, if you're on there, maybe Miss Daisy, maybe send a link, maybe.
I've got the link.
Still on Facebook.
She's still
Oh,
on.
it's pinned. Okay.
Grandma, I've got it pinned and I'm gonna put it out in the chat. If all you have to do is click on it. Everybody in the chat is respectful, has been very respectful. So if you want to come up, we'll talk about this. And we'll just click on that link and I'll let you and Jessica, I'll just step back and let you tell your story. If we could give Purple Hearts to Miss Grandma Candy and Miss Summer and show her some support because everybody's here and wants to know what happened that day.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. There's a lot more to it. This was a 5-hour stream, and we're only not even an hour in.
Wow.
But and this lady actually is on there the whole time, by the looks of it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I don't think Candace ever went up there, but
yeah, be sure to go over there and hit that subscribe button and give them views for that video. That is their content. We're just kind of going through it, and like I mentioned earlier, just kind of discussing it and things. It's very interesting perspectives there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if you guys have any thoughts or comments or whatever, put them down below. And also, too, don't forget to check out our lives that we do every night at anytime between 6 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Pacific.
Yep. It varies sometimes. We just kind of, you know.
And we're trying to figure out a time. That's what we're trying to do.
We are. Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. And wherever you're at, we wish you well. We wish you a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are.
Goodbye, all.
Bye for now, all.